following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.
Good morning. Test. There we are. Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM. It's been a while, guys. A couple weeks. Lots happened since then. We've got 5 games under our belt. 4 over in Collinsville, and then last night at Mahomet. So a lot to catch up on. Hope everyone had a happy new year. Some new resolutions. Jake, I know what yours is.
Yeah.
To get a better supply of sweater vests.
Why?
I don't know. I thought
I've got
that's
like 3.
Oh.
I mean, how many do you need?
They're pretty nice.
Yeah. How does one pull off a sweater vest?
Well, you get older and fatter, and you just snuggle right in.
It's not so tight on your sleeves.
You just snuggle right into them.
Yeah. Well, Coach Al with us this morning. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Big win last night over Mahomet. A much improved Mahomet team that we've seen. At the beginning of the year, gave you a little run for your money, but the Railers able to pull it out last night.
Yeah, I thought they shot the ball exceptionally well, and they hurt us on a lot of things, and like I said, it's a learning experience, and we've got something to work on again, and we'll continue to hopefully we can get all these bugs worked out to where we don't have to say we got things to work on.
Well, there's always things to work on. Have you ever had that perfect game?
Nope.
Not even close.
Not even close. But that's what we strive for. If you don't strive for it, you don't get any better. And our goal is to be the best that we possibly can come state tournament time.
Yeah, you can never be content on how you're playing. You always want to improve, get better, and play your best basketball towards the end of the season. But, coming into last night's game, you had 4 games down in Collinsville, went 3-1?
2-2.
2-2 for 5th place?
We got, I guess, 6.
Yeah. Anyway,
we lost. We played the hometown school, and that's no fun playing them on their home court.
They always schedule you guys in different brackets.
Yeah,
they like that.
Yeah.
So you go 2-2 from there. Saw some good competition, some different competition, and you're going to see that today too as we travel to Lanphier. But teams coming along well. You satisfied where you're at? Probably a little over midway of the season.
Yeah, we're 13-3, and we'll take that. We'll keep trying. Today's a big one. We only have one next week, so we'll have a lot of time to work on some things. And last night we went from a real average-sized team. They were 6'4", 6'5", 6'7", and they were very patient. They moved the ball. A game like last night is when you want that shot clock. They're very patient. They would work, and if they're going to have to shoot it every 35 seconds, you can play your defense hard, hopefully, and force them to take a shot. But they worked till they got the perfect shot. With the shot clock, you work to get a good shot, not the perfect, the quickest shot that you can come up with. And but they were very good. They were much improved from the first time we played. I think, first of all, they were in the football playoffs a couple weeks. And they were getting people back, and they had some injuries. And right now, I was really impressed with them. I saw them play about a quarter at Christmas time, and they didn't play very well then. And I always call the first game after Christmas the Christmas blues. Most teams struggle coming out of the gate right after Christmas, and they'd already played their Christmas blue game on Tuesday night, so they were we got a pretty good punch from them last night.
Now, was there any kind of shot clock hangover where the kids were getting a little antsy last night, maybe forcing the issue, or just kind of slid right back into the normal?
Even with the shot clock, clock, I don't even think our kids were talking about it. They just went out and played, and there for the prior 4 or 5 games, we had coaches charting time in our possessions, and even then, when we weren't playing with a shot clock, before we'd played with the shot clock, our possessions were anywhere right around 20 seconds. So, people say we hold the ball, our scores are low because we hold the ball. It's not us that's holding the ball. It's usually our opponent who's, like I said, is working for that perfect shot.
Let's talk a little bit about the shot clock. Obviously, you guys had it down in Collinsville. Seemed to run pretty smooth, maybe a hookup or here or there, but does that change your perspective on the game or your outlook on the shot clock?
Well, I like the shot clock. It helps us out defensively. It doesn't hurt us offensively. I think during the 4 games, and just by playing 4 games, I think we had maybe 4 shot clock violations, and that would average out to 1 per game.
That's pretty good.
You see that in college still.
Yeah, 1 per game where you haven't played with it, and eventually, you would really get comfortable with it. But what it did was 2 things. Offensively, it kept us playing. When you got a big lead, you couldn't just sit there and hold the ball and become complacent. Right. It eliminates that part of the game. You can't be complacent with a shot clock.
No.
You have to play the full 32 minutes and always keep attacking, and it does that. Second thing it did for us was it kept the game rolling. There was a couple teams that got up on us 6 or 8 points, and with 3 or 4 minutes, a lot of teams start pulling you out and doing things like that. But you're looking at the kids and say, just stay in your defense. Don't change anything, because they've got to come at you and they have to shoot it after 35 seconds.
Yeah,
so it kept the game moving. I don't think it changed the way we played at all. But I really liked it in that aspect, that it forced us to keep playing, and then, we only had to play defense for 35 seconds.
So have you heard any other – sorry, Joe, go ahead.
No, I just want to say it didn't affect the outcome of any of your games.
I don't know.
Or did you know of any games at the tournament where
I don't even think so. I think it was well received. I think other tournaments have had it and used it, and I have not heard one bad thing about it. And I've talked to some fans, and they really enjoyed it, and I hope they go to it. I know it's going to be a hard thing to do, but I think it's going to happen at some point, whether it's next year, the year after. And I've said this for a long time. If we throw it out there and say, I know they've been saying for a couple years, start preparing for it, but until they come out and actually say, boom, you're going to do it, I think the clock, your manufacturers will have a hard time manufacturing that many shot clocks, because not only are you going to put them in one gym, if you have a secondary gym, you need to put it in there. So when you're practicing, or like us, there's times where we use our back gym for tournament games. Our underclass, uses that back gym for tournament games. So,
and that's to let the board know.
It's taken care of.
Start saying that.
Yes. We're setting that up now.
It's taken care of.
So did you find yourself on the defensive end? Did you find yourself in a little better spot because of the?
Well, it also forced them to attack us.
Correct.
And the offense was always in an attack mode, where when we no shot clock, you got teams that'll just pass, and if we get teams doing that, more than likely we're in good shape. Because they're basically not attacking us. Mm-hmm. But if you ever watch, even without the shot clock, when you get to the fourth quarter, and let's say you got a 15-point lead, now teams get aggressive every possession. Boom, they start dribble drive. They try to get inside. They try to find quick shots. That's what it was like. When the game was, if you had a big lead, teams really got aggressive, took the first quick shot they could find. So that's what the shot clock did.
So more, basically creates more offense, which everybody wants.
It does.
Everybody wants more offense.
I'm not big into the possessions and everything, and there are a lot of coaches that are, and I've talked to a couple, and they said that it basically increased your possessions around 15. You had 15 more opportunities with the ball.
Well,
That's interesting.
So probably, I mean, as far as feedback, I guess IHSA will start reaching out to, individuals that, yourself who have played.
Yeah,
and
I've already had my survey and had to send it back in. So once the tournament's over, about a week later, you get a survey on what I thought about the shot clock, and they'll take that information to see where they're at.
Did the shot clock operator ever get in trouble?
Really? They had a couple down there. No.
Good.
I
Just wondering.
It was. I think the way they did it was the only reset you ever had was 35 seconds. There was no worrying about whether it was a 20-second, a 20-second. The only time they reset to 20 seconds was if it was under 20 seconds and you had a kick. And it was a dead ball, so it was pretty easy to reset to 20 seconds.
The tough one's that offensive board.
Yeah.
And is that going back to
even
35?
if you hit it, yeah, it goes back 35. Everything's 35. In the collegiate, you get an offensive rebound, it resets to 20. It doesn't go back to the 30-second.
Yeah. That'd just be tough.
But and ours, the way we played, was every offensive rebound. So anytime it hit the rim, it reset. Anytime. So that really eliminated a lot of guessing on where the shot clock was set and everything. So
I don't get the reset on the kickball. That just don't make a whole lot of sense to me. But who am I? Does that make sense to you? You kick the ball and you reset the shot clock?
Well, it breaks your rhythm of your offense.
Yeah.
If you get kicked with 1 second now,
I guess you'd have people. Yeah.
You're trying to get a kick, so it goes back to 20.
It's taking the soccer aspect out of the game.
Oh, okay. That's good. We didn't want that.
You've had some point guards that played soccer, didn't you? You got to get those guys. You can't let them use their feet all the time.
That soccer sport, it's great for footwork.
Yeah.
Great for footwork.
And endurance. That's why we never played it.
Say, let's talk soccer.
Way too much.
I don't know anything. There you go.
I don't know anything about it. Well, Coach, back on track. A big game today as we travel to Lanphier. We know Lanphier real well. I guess that's probably one of our top rivals when we're in the Central State 8, and it will be another rival coming up. So it's a good one to match up with. I know we've had battles with Lanphier, and it's always usually a good game. They're a quick team, a solid team. It's going to be a little different look than we saw last night. How do you get those kids to transition from what you saw with Muhammad to the fast-paced Lanphier?
Well, usually our defense is better against fast-paced teams because they try to play faster and they turn it over a bunch more. So hopefully that'll happen and gives us more opportunity. But, they are they're going through a lot of changes down there, not with their basketball team, but the school. They're remodeling the school. They've redone Memorial Stadium. They're building a new gym, which they'll be in next year. So in the past, and I need to get this out there to our fans, we've always entered on the east side. They had a lobby there. That's all been ripped off, and the where you would enter to that gym is all boarded up.
Okay.
So basically the gym is on an island by itself now because that's going to be tore down at the end of the year, and that'll be a parking lot. But we have been told to enter on the west side on 11th Street, and then there's a parking lot across the street there that you can park in and everything. So they did also say that they will not open the doors before 12:30, and we start at 1. So I don't know why they're doing that or so, but Other than that, it's the same gym.
It's same small gym. Hopefully the new one they build is going to be a little better seating.
It's supposed to seat about 2,500. So, and they've got the walls up.
I mean, there's not a whole
you're
lot.
gonna miss those little gyms.
Yeah, they're
That's
fun.
a cool place.
I guess I'll see it today, but I'm just trying to picture where they're going to build a new gym. I mean, it was kind of compact there anyway.
You
wasn't
had
it?
Memorial Stadium, and then right there you had a practice field.
Okay.
That practice field's no longer there. They've got it up. They've got their main gym, and then they've got an auxiliary gym right next to it that'll be compatible, so they can use for underclass games, tournament games. Have 2 gyms for tournaments, and so it'll be a whole different thing, and they're supposed to be in it next year.
Really? Well, that's exciting. A nice homecoming for Lincoln, to get back into Central State 8 and play in a brand new gym. Maybe it could be their inaugural game there.
I doubt that. I think we play them later on in the year, so but it'll be different, and it'll take them a little bit of time to gain their home court. It'll be kind of like a neutral site that first year. Yeah. But as time goes on, I'm sure it'll be an effective home court advantage.
Yeah, and it's been that little court's so fun.
It is.
You're going to miss places like that. But
A lot of memories in there, you know.
The newer gyms just don't have the Hoosier style
no.
feeling about them, and
Yeah, you go to play at Lanford, they definitely have a home court advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's, at that place.
Lincoln may not be able to get in if they're not open until 12:30.
Yeah.
they probably open. That's when the Lincoln people can
that's
get in.
what, Everybody else
will have their seat.
They're there at 11:30.
Exactly right.
Yeah, so there you go, Lincoln. Find a spot. But
Well,
it is what it is.
Home field with home court advantage.
Yeah.
You know
I
what? We
guess-
can start doing the same thing here, right?
That's right.
Going to give you guys 20 minutes to get
They
a seat.
do. They got a little section right up in that
corner.
Yeah, that corner. But they tend to spread out. But that should be fun, exciting. But traveling over there today, it is an afternoon game. Like you said, the JV starts at 1:00, and varsity to follow 2:30 or so. So
Yeah, and if you don't want to leave town and you want to watch basketball, the girls are playing Muhammad Seymour, and I think Muhammad Seymour's 16-3. Our girls are 19-0 and having a great year, and they could use your support this afternoon. So hopefully, if you're a basketball fan, you're either at Lanphier High School today or out at Roy S.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see great games at both places.
What's Lanford's record?
They're probably around 500, but as well as I know, just throw them
doesn't
records out
matter.
the
Oh,
door.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
yeah,
So,
Always a fun game.
yes, it is.
Lanphier.
yeah. And Jake, you would like to contribute?
I'm excited about the girls' game today.
Yeah,
I think Lincoln should be too. I mean, having a heck of a year, and then they got bit with a little bit of an injury bug with the Heitze girl, right?
Yeah.
Which is it's going to test them a little bit. I mean, they're going to get something new there. They're going to have to work around, and I think it's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's forcing other girls to have to step in and play, and it'll make them better and stronger down the road. And hopefully Becca will get back. And
It sounds like it from what they're saying, right?
Yeah,
As of this point.
it is, but you never know.
You never know, yeah.
You never know.
It's a wrist injury, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And it's her offhand. It's her left hand.
That's
so
all right. You don't need that.
No.
No.
tie the hand
Who uses that?
down to the side and
Yeah.
let's go.
Just like Hoosiers.
Yeah, absolutely.
The greatest Lanphier game that never happened would have been that COVID year.
I
Yes, it would.
wasn't going to bring it up, Joe.
I was. You got to talk about that. Boy, that was going to be
that
the greatest
would have been
Lanphier game ever.
Yeah.
Lincoln Lanphier.
Yeah, that
It was
just
at
brings
home.
bad memories.
Yeah, now I'm upset again, Joe.
Don't be upset.
Yeah,
All
it
those
was-
kids, man.
It was, you practice for it. You got Thursday practice over, and boom, 15 minutes later, you're told your season's completed.
And we should have just not listened to him and just kept going.
I mean, they had teams on the court at the state
Yeah.
tournament doing their warm-ups,
Yeah.
and shut
and they
it down.
pulled them off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And at that time,
we had such a great team.
At that time, rightfully so. I mean, looking back on it now.
Looking back, hindsight, but yeah. Oh, well. Well, Coach, once again, thanks for coming in. Big game today, afternoon. So those are always tough, but heck, you did it in Collinsville, so the kids should be acclimated to it and go over there and watch a good game at Lanphier, or like you said,
enjoy that gym.
Yeah, last time in that gym.
Last time.
Yeah,
wow.
Got to walk away with a W on that.
Well, I hope so. Close it out right. We'll close Lincoln out right.
Yep. All right, Coach. Well, thanks again, and I know you got to get stuff prepared, get ready for the bus.
Assistant coaches do all that stuff.
Basically.
At least you're open.
Well, he's got to go home, get his nap in, and get ready. And,
Farmer's probably already got a box lunch for him ready in his seat next to him.
Yeah. His Diet Coke.
Yep. We do have, we're going to watch some film at 9:45 and leave at 11.
All right. Well,
have a walkthrough
and go play the Lions of Lanphier. So, once again, a reminder for those listeners going to the game. Entrance is on the west side. There's a parking lot across the street. And
it's 11th Street.
11th Street.
11th Street.
Okay. Remember that.
And
it's probably one way, like every other street they have.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not a one way. Right. We went down and scouted them on Tuesday night, and I walk up, and they've got the doors propped open, and I walk in there and I go, God, this is going to be cold. And, man, it was about 110 degrees. I loved it. It felt good.
So what you're trying to say, it's going to be hot in there
I
today.
hope so. I hope so.
There you go.
That's the heat is really hard on broadcasters. We can't work under those conditions. So
Well, it's good for the players. It gets them good and loose.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Well, we'll see you over in Springfield. Good luck today, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll take a commercial break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about
Illini basketball.
I don't know. We'll do that, but we'll talk football, baseball. I mean, we can start talking baseball. It's right around the corner,
I don't
guys.
think you want to do that.
No, you're right. All right, so stay tuned. You're in the cheap seats, WLCN 96.3 FM.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
This is Tim Kirkchin from ESPN, and you're listening to Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM, WLCN, with Joe, Jake, and Shabadoo.
New Year's resolution.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, resolution on the cheap seats is we're just going to make this show great.
Yeah, next level.
Next level.
I don't know how much higher we can get. But
yeah, well,
we're up there right now.
That's legal.
I'd hate to fall off the level we're on.
Yeah.
We'll get hurt.
Yeah, we're going to make it great. Jake's going to make it your own, and we're going to make it great.
We're going to make it great. That Jake, I'll tell you, he's something else. If you guys haven't seen him, Lloyd, is there any way we can zoom in on him? He looks nice.
What time do you think he wakes up in the morning to get ready?
Oh, early.
6:15 every morning.
And I think he gives his face a sponge bath.
Do you set your alarm for 6?
I have to set in a bath of imported Fiji water.
You know what? And you look like it.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's wearing some makeup today.
I do. Yeah.
He just shines.
Well,
He got his hair
come
all.
in a place like this, you got to be ready.
Yeah, I tell you what.
He got his hair all did up, and he's got
all done.
He's got some new shoes on.
He does have new boppers
They
on.
are not new shoes, but they're newer.
New
I was
boppers.
pretty proud of myself for buying them.
Skinny jeans.
Yeah.
He looks
They're
good.
not skinny. Stop it.
Well, he makes some skinny
Real good.
jeans. They're actually husky baggy.
Husky baggy that he makes look skinny.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, but
I am good, Jim.
Yeah.
How good?
How good? You guys probably had the opportunity to watch Monday Night Football, where the tragedy could have been a tragedy with Hamlin. Man, that was something else, wasn't it? We were talking before the show, and Jake's mentioned that it was the perfect storm where it had to happen with this, and it did, and. Man, it was scary, and kudos goes out to the athletic trainer that saved his life, and boy, Hamlin will be forever grateful for that.
And those guys are, when you just think about all the games they go to and do that, those guys are just wandering around the sidelines, got nothing going on. If somebody goes down, I'll pop out. We'll take a look at an injury, and then you have that go on, and it's like.
Yeah.
Well, those guys were prepared.
And then, I don't know, Lincoln fans, you remember several years ago we were down in Collinsville, and that happened to one of the referees, and thankful for some Lincoln fans that were right there and saved that guy's life. And, Coach Al mentioned earlier that he was in the right spot. If you're at home and that happens, you're no longer with us, and he had.
So wait a minute, you think he's going to have a collision like that at home?
They haven't said the collision
with an offensive player.
We don't know that because it wasn't that big of a collision.
He popped up because of the adrenaline. His heart got knocked out of place because of the impact. Hidden dead center of his chest.
I'm not saying it wasn't.
I don't know if it did or didn't, but those guys right now say they won't know until they do all this stuff afterwards.
Yes, of course.
But I'm
I guess the NFL's probably sitting there going, "Yeah, it wasn't us. It wasn't from the impact."
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the impact.
I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't a big impact, but we've seen.
Listen, you could that type of impact. You could walk up and literally do one of these things to the guy's chest, and if you hit him at the right spot at the right time, it's going to be a very similar situation. You know what I'm saying?
I'm no doctor. I don't know.
I am.
I can tell by the way you're dressed.
He does physicals in the back room, Joe. Go turn your head and cough.
Do you have rubber gloves?
I mean, do you need them?
No, not if you got a good hand soap.
Yeah, he's got hand sanitizer.
Sanitizer.
Well, he's a more hands-on guy.
Oh, I know that. We won't need the gloves.
Latex just gets in the way.
Hey, now we've taken the show to a different level.
Yeah, but it's hard on a producer to have a show like this.
He didn't want want to get out of bed. The past 2 weeks, he was in heaven. Now he's got to come back here and deal with us. So, but he's not happy. We keep him young.
Not happy.
You know, if I was also told there's a little bit of scuttle going on about. I mean, you guys, social media as we talk about, but a little bit of scuttle about. We were all watching. Didn't the announcers even say they're going to give each team 5 minutes to warm up and we're playing?
Yeah, but I don't know that they necessarily knew the severity of the what was going on.
But then I was told that somebody else came in and said no, they're not the teams. Yeah.
I mean, we say stupid stuff on here all the time. We don't mean it. Jake?
Well, yeah, I guess Jake does sometimes.
That's a fact.
And it's not,
and we're back.
And that's probably just protocol. When somebody goes down and they stop, it's we'll give you 5 minutes.
And that could be true.
And they probably, obviously they didn't know the severity of it. They knew it was something bad, be just the reaction on the field, but nobody knew anything until it was all sorted out. So things are said. This guy said this guy said that. Who knows? I mean, in all honesty, doesn't matter. I mean, the main thing is the guy's okay. The guy's all right, And
what I thought was funny is they were deliberately trying not to show the hit. Like replays of it and whatnot. It wasn't gruesome.
No.
It wasn't like the hit that took out that guy's leg just a couple years ago.
Joe Theismann.
That was gruesome. And they replayed that thing to the point I wasn't turning on the TV because I didn't want to see it anymore. But this, it was just a football play.
It was more just wrestled him down, but got hit in the right spot.
It looked like it's just a natural football play.
Yeah.
And
nothing illegal about any of it.
Sometimes things go wrong. Same thing, it happened basically the same thing happened to, who was it? Pronger. Chris Pronger back with the St. Louis Blues a few years back. Got hit in the chest with the hockey puck, and he was out. Now, he got revived real quick, unlike this scenario. But, it basically the same scenario right there.
It'll be interesting to see what they say when it's done.
Yeah.
Well,
it sounds like, the light of this, there's a couple things, actually. One, how good of a guy is this guy? They're showing all the stuff he's doing extracurricular off the football field, making a difference and
that nobody knew about
thousands
before.
And nobody knew it, making differences. And this is what I've said about the NFL for years, ever since the kneeling thing. Well, if you want to change your community and you want to change perception, go out there and change it. And this guy's actually doing that. So huge kudos to him.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing to hear and have as a bookmark for the NFL. This is a guy that people can look up to.
Yeah, from Pittsburgh.
Not just from how he's playing on the field,
what he does,
but more what he's doing off the field.
Yeah, from Pittsburgh and stayed at Pittsburgh because he had other opportunities, but he said that
wanted to be close to his family.
Wanted to be a big brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of NFL players that have organizations, and it goes unnoticed.
Absolutely.
But something tragic like this brings it to the forefront, and now people are donating to that organization, and it's just blowing up.
And it highlights
our own Tony Sipple has a great organization out there.
It highlights him, and you know what? Maybe the NFL needs to do a better job of highlighting these guys in the off season and maybe even during the season. So and they see more of that.
They do somewhat. You have the Walter Payton Award.
Sure,
they do. But it could be, a little more.
I had no idea what this guy does.
Nope, I didn't either.
And what a fantastic tribute that he's made throughout his years in his playing career. On top of that, the other thing that I thought was great to see was the fact that they actually showed the guys on the field praying for this guy coming in unified in that, and that was a beautiful thing too. And really, not only the NFL but all of the sports and even all of really entertainment has gotten away from showing that aspect, which should be a core aspect of everything.
Yeah.
So
you hate to see the ones that do it so they are being seen. That guy's been doing a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't even know about.
Yeah, and it just kind of puts football in perspective. You got fantasy football owners yelling at these guys, and just you stink. Other words you can't say. Well, you can't say on air. It's frowned upon.
We've said
literally everything.
It's frowned upon, but. it just puts in their perspective that it is a game. These guys are human beings, and anything can happen. And
I did win my Super Bowl in fantasy because that game was called, because I was going to get beat.
Oh. So. Did you actually draft the team?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You did?
Oh, yeah. I'm very knowledgeable.
Liar.
Yes, I did. It's a draft. We don't do that.
I know, but you have a partner.
He's known for it.
I've been in leagues with you before, and you have a partner, and you have nothing to do with it.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm probably one of the best fantasy football players sitting here.
Okay. Well, did you sign up for the WLCN fantasy football?
We're not getting in that knowledgeable league.
What am I giving away now?
That is happening next year.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get it together again.
Jim's got it on the calendar, I believe.
I'm going to start working on it now.
Big payouts.
There's going to be gifts like you wouldn't believe.
Lloyd's going to be the on-the-field guy for the draft. I mean, he'll be excited about it.
It can be so much easier these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could actually set that thing up like you did one time that we never followed through with. What'd you set up one time with?
I don't know. There's a bunch of them.
No,
let's see.
Did we?
Like Joe's song game,
agenda,
the agenda, fantasy football.
You set it up one year where all of us could be in it. And it was all done
online
with the phone or whatever, and then we never followed up with it. Yeah. We should do that again, but it makes it much easier. We should
do it again, but actually do it.
Yeah, and have listeners involved.
Well, that was the whole idea.
I know that's your deal, man. We're right here supporting you.
Hey, you're special, and we know it.
Okay. Well, let's move on to then. Why don't you go ahead and tell us now about the outcomes of what they're doing about us not having that game in the playoffs? Go ahead.
Playoffs?
And repeat and tell that story.
I don't know.
Playoffs?
It's a big confusing mess.
Yeah.
About what happens now.
Yeah, what does happen now. And like you said, a lot of fantasy football championships were decided.
Mine was changed.
I know the one I was in. I wasn't in it. I think Bryson was. I think they're just split the money. But I don't know. I guess you just they're in uncharted waters right now because the Bengals are a playoff team, the Buffalo Bills are a playoff team, and
I'll step out and say my 2 cents. I know someone will probably call me from the NFL, but I don't care what they do. Those playoff games are not played at a neutral site. You figure it out.
No.
You figure it out. And maybe something's not fair, but you have season ticket holders on both sides of that fence.
You flip a coin.
That have been waiting, and you want to go to Detroit somewhere or something and play inside at a neutral place. I think's wrong. Somebody gets that playoff game at home.
Yeah. I don't know how. I don't know what the tiebreaker is, but there's got to be one.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
Yeah. We'll figure it out if they can't. Give us a call. What's our phone number? 217-871-4930. Give us a call.
Give us an opinion.
We'll tell you what to do.
Yeah.
He's plugging in the phone like somebody's going to call.
Jim's anxiously awaiting.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take another commercial break, and we come back and we'll finish it up here on this New Year's show of a disaster. So stay tuned.
Our first disaster of the year.
WLC at 96.3 FM.
Donating pet food can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. So if you want to talk to your kids, you got to get it trending. I was just trying to get your attention.
Could I just ask?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
This is Lauren Wallace, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Scott on 96.3 FM.
Thanks, Lauren. I haven't heard this for a while. Oh,
he's like, I thought he was going to do it.
I don't think Jim even turns his headphones on.
He doesn't want to listen to this show.
I mean, we're cueing him all the time, and he just, huh?
What?
Doesn't the song just make you happy?
You know what? There's a lot of good pieces in this.
Scott and Jake and Jim and Lloyd were all accounted for.
We don't have to play it all.
You can cut it. We're all sick of it. Yeah. I'll say Lloyd put a lot of time and effort into that.
He did.
Though.
Lloyd puts a lot of time and effort and a lot of nonsense. But it always works out.
So anybody that knows where Joe Ryan is taking off to, feel free to call in. You'll win something.
A donut.
And maybe a donut.
A bag of donuts.
A bag. We can put up those in a bag.
A Mellow Cream sack of donuts. Yes. Yes. A big sack of donuts. Well, welcome back to the Cheap Seats. It's a new year. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. I know ours was, which probably a lot of people, it was just filled of sickness. So Christmas wasn't real enjoyable. I mean, everybody was sick with that flu bug thing going around.
Part of that going around, the COVID and the other stuff. There's a whole bunch of it.
Now, feel good. Family's all healed up, and we're right in the thick of things in basketball, Jake. It's January. You talked a little bit about what's wrong with Illini basketball.
Now you're throwing me under the bus like that.
No, you asked.
Getting thrown off.
No, you just asked me.
All right, well, what's going on with it?
Because you thought I have knowledge, and I have no knowledge.
Well, we've all basically come to the conclusion that you're not the one with knowledge.
And you're correct.
However, you do enjoy the Illini basketball, and I feel you tune into most of it if you're not there.
I do enjoy it.
Here lately, it's been frustrating.
Here lately, it's been. I think there's just coming into the season. There's a lot of high expectations, and then they get off to a good start. You're beating, Texas. You're beating UCLA. You're beating these top-ranked teams, and then the bottom just falls out.
Well, you felt like Texas was. You felt like that win was going to slingshot them into the Big Ten.
Yeah, and it didn't.
It did not. And it's like they've had jet lag since.
Yeah. And college basketball is just tough, period. There's good teams out there. The Big Ten, I
thought they played quarter or halves.
They do.
Not periods.
Well, I said period, not periods.
Oh. Just check.
Now you got me thinking of something else. But anyway, it's just, it's a young team. They haven't played. You got guys moving in, moving out.
I mean, the transfer portal has brought in, a different way of doing business, I guess, in the high school game or the college game, and then the recruits are a lot of fresh recruits coming in there this year.
Yeah, you got. I don't know. I don't have any inside information, but to me, just the NIL, the transfer portal, it's ruining college sports. And these kids, they're not held accountable for anything. If they're unhappy, here, well, I can go somewhere else. Or, well, why is he making this much amount of money and I'm only getting this? I just think it.
I had better 3 games in a row than he did.
I just think it creates a lot of. What's the word I'm looking for? Creates a lot of
donuts.
Huh? Turmoil's one of them. What'd you say? Oh, well, they're on the same page.
And donuts. I said donuts.
Yeah. Turmoil. There's another word that's more intelligent.
Yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
He's going for
animosity. Does that? Yeah.
That'll
create
work.
some of that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. See, I'm a big word guy.
I award you no points.
So, yeah, I don't know. But hopefully Illinois can turn it around today. You got Wisconsin coming to town. Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Then the news of Sky Clark leaving because of personal reasons.
Could that be an addition by subtraction?
It is, obviously, because you're losing a guy and another guy's going to step up. So there you go.
I feel like the Illini have had a difficult time, and let me say this, I don't know squat, but I feel like that they've had a difficult time figuring out the minutes to put with different guys and different combinations of guys.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of, the Texas game, it seemed like it was all clicking. Everything was hitting right. Right after that, it was almost like we were trying to do, and I say like they were trying to do a little more with what they had, trying to get a couple guys a little more time, and I feel like it was at the detriment of the team. And now they can't get it back together, and they're doing everything they can to throw it back together. And maybe, and I wouldn't know any of this, but maybe they're having some issues behind the scenes, and it's because of some of that.
Yeah,
so.
You know more than I do. That's for sure. What I know is off stuff you read off Twitter, and
that's what I've gotten as well.
And
so
you take that for what it's worth. I believe that as far as I can throw Lloyd, and I can't.
And you got a bad elbow.
And knees and back and all that. But I don't know. It's one of those things that they got to figure out. That's college sports. Everybody deals with that stuff, And you look at the college basketball in a whole, anybody can beat anybody on a given night. Rutgers just beat Purdue, and you got other upsets going on.
And Purdue's awfully good.
And Purdue's really good. Yeah. And you just look across the board and you think, well, this team's just going to roll through it. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night. And with kids these days, people are recruiting all over the country and world at that. And it's just, that's college basketball. You're not going to have that dominant team year in, year out. Back in the day when it was Duke or North Carolina, your big top 5 conferences, and it's just It's just not
UNLV.
Yeah, UNLV back, and it's just not the way it is. And you just got to keep plugging away, and take one game at a time. And hopefully the Fighting Illini can do that today against Wisconsin at 12:30.
Yeah, I mean, at any point they can turn it around and get going in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely.
So you hope that maybe like you said, you're gonna have somebody else step up, in the absence there. So and they definitely have the players to do that.
They got the players. They got coaching. They've got one of the best coaching staffs in the country. I mean, it's
not
just
biased there, are you?
No, it's just facts.
Okay.
I read it on Twitter.
Yep.
That I will believe.
I will believe.
But it's college basketball. These guys are, they look like grown men, but they're still kids.
They're still kids, yeah.
You got 18, 19-year-olds out there, 20-year-olds. You got Zach Perrine just flew across the country from France. He's 18 years old. And, hopefully he's getting in the mix here shortly as they learn things. Luke Goody could be back here in the next week or two.
I think that'd be
he's going to be a big boost on the court.
So he is planning on being back this year?
Oh, absolutely. He should be back.
Okay.
Yeah, he should be back. If things are still on track, he should be back in the next week or two.
And maybe that's part of it, too.
It's finding that, you got to look before where you had Trent Frazier, DeMonte Williams, Kofi. Those guys played together for a few years.
Yeah.
You had Io, and it's just it's gel, it's camaraderie, building a foundation, a family, and going out there and playing, knowing what the other player's going to do and react. And right now they just don't have that. They're just still feeling their way through it. When you got, Matt Mayer coming from Baylor and Shannon coming from Texas Tech, two of your top transfer portal guys, never played together before. Then you got all these freshmen coming in. Yeah. That's just kind of there's
a lot there
mess.
To try to work
because
together.
Going from high school to college, man, it's I don't know what worse is, the worst saying than night and day, but whatever it is, it's that, because the strength, the speed, the physicalness, the animosity of it. Yeah, there's a lot of animosity, building, turmoil. So you got
the laundry.
Yes, all that stuff. The inventory reduction, all that is just,
the dating scene.
Yeah. Being on your own, doing your own laundry.
It's hard on a kid.
Yeah.
So not to cyber jump on you here. I know we just got a little bit of time left, but thoughts on the NCAA championship game coming up? We had a heck of a tournament.
Oh, absolutely. We didn't even talk college football.
The two games coming into this,
you want to talk about
New Year's
football.
That was some of the best football I've watched. And it wasn't defense. There wasn't defense there. But holy cow, that was fantastic.
Two excellent games.
Excellent.
I found myself glued to the TV, which I often do.
Who thought you could score more than 30 on Georgia?
Yeah.
And not only score more than 30, you came a couple yards away from winning the game.
Are you talking about the field goal? Because that was a lot more than a couple.
Well,
yards.
Okay.
That was wide right by like
6 yards.
City block.
Yeah.
But that game was good. Ohio State was beating the snot of Georgia the whole game, and then then you got TCU and Michigan.
How fun was that?
Oh, there was no defense, and I'm fine with that. There was a lot of scoring, and the Horned Frogs are going to the championship against a Georgia team that didn't play their best football against Ohio State. So,
do you think they were just looking past Ohio State?
I don't know. Ohio State.
You'd hate to believe that, but at the same time, I kind of feel a little bit like that.
So now you got to think that Georgia's the big favorite, right?
Yeah. I think they're plus 14.
Really?
That's a huge spread.
And then you got all these Alabama folk. Well, we should have been in there. We should have been in that playoff.
Yeah.
We would have gave, Michigan.
You try and talk with a little bit of a southern drawl there.
Yeah, is it?
He's going backwoods, Alabama.
Yeah. Well, Alabama, we should be in there, and we'd have gave.
They love Nick Saban.
Yeah, they do. And they should. I mean, they've been.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
And I also see that Christmas puked a bunch of Nebraska stuff at your house.
Oh, yeah.
Every Snapchat I see, you got Nebraska junk on.
Hey, for the next few years, as long as the daughter doesn't decide to transfer somewhere else.
Is she going to hit the portal?
She may hit the academic portal. I don't know if that matters.
What's
anymore.
her NIL? How much are they paying her?
I'm pretty sure I'm the one paying.
Oh, yeah. Jake's NIL.
I'm pretty sure I'm the one paying, but I'm very proud of it. I'm very, very proud of her as dad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but back to the national game. It's Monday night. I'm
excited about it.
Yeah, it should be a pretty good game.
I'm more excited about this than I have been about a football game in a while. So
or anything at that.
Yeah,
100%. I see it in your eyes.
Yeah. Yes, I think Georgia's probably going to have a big game here, but man, to clear that 14.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean,
throw something on that.
J-Mac.
This is a lead pipe lock for J-Mac.
Yeah, J-Mac. Who's he on? He's taking
TCU with those points.
Yeah. So I'm taking opposite.
Yep, probably smart.
Georgia. But yeah, it should be a fun game. If you're TCU, man, you're going to kick it up a notch. You're playing for a national championship. He's tough. They got a good team. But didn't really see it. Georgia's defense go Ohio State because Stroud, he kind of did what he wanted. But it should be a fun game. Hope so. Hope it's entertaining, and I'll be tuning in. You know what wasn't really entertaining and fun? That was the game after the next day, Illini and Mississippi State.
I wasn't even going to bring it up.
I wasn't either, but
Now, the Illini had a couple guys that didn't play.
They had three of their top guys in Chase Brown, Sidney Brown, and Witherspoon. And then you got Hightower just announced he's going into the portal.
Going in the portal or going in the draft?
Portal.
Okay.
Portal. He's entering the portal.
That's right.
He's going to portal himself out of Champaign. But
she knows what that means with others coming in, too. I mean,
yeah, but he was a big physical receiver.
It's crazy how many of the top 10 teams are on the high side of kids transferring out.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Ole Miss is one of them, one of the highest of them transferring out.
I think Illinois is looking at the Ole Miss quarterback.
Yeah.
I think that's
he's a good kid,
almost
too.
a done deal, I think, from what I'm reading on Twitter, on the old Twitter.
Well, I'm glad you keep on top of that.
I don't
for this show.
Yeah. That's my agenda. If it's not on Twitter, we don't talk about it.
Absolutely.
So, but it's time to go, Jake. Your warehouse here is filling up with customers.
This is a showroom, my friend.
Showroom.
Yes, showroom is what we like to call it.
Okay, a showroom. Well, go show some stuff. All right, well, thanks for tuning in to the Cheap Seats. Once again, the Railers, the Lady Railers and the Railers play today. So if you want to stay home, go catch the Lady Railers at home against Mahomet. Or if you want to get on the road, make a little road trip, head over to Lanphier as the Railers take on the Lions. Both afternoon games, so hopefully you can catch one of those. You can catch the boys' game here on WLCN. We'll bring all the action to you. But other than that, Jake, that's going to do it for us here today.
Good day.
The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.